Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we have a special show where we're going to be tasting and talking about Jypsy Tribute, a new product from the mind of Eric Church. We'll get to that after the break. My name's Steve Akeley. I'm joined by Darren McCroy. How you doing, buddy?
Great. How you doing?
Doing good, yeah. So we've got a sample here from the good folks over at Jypsy Whiskey Company, and should be fun. We've got to try some of their products in the past, and their offerings have been good to date, so I'm expecting big things here. My buddy Ari Sussman does their blending and stuff like that, helps them select barrels, so usually some good stuff comes out of that guy, so should be fun to talk about today. Before we get to that, you said there's something you want to talk about. What is that, sir?
So we have a big event coming up in a couple weeks from when this comes out. Demetrius Cane Festival. What do we got going on at Demetrius Cane Festival? What is that?
So the idea for a festival is, again, we are world's only single barrel place, and I felt like there's got to be some responsibility that goes with having the only one-of-a-kind place, and I thought we needed to establish a Hall of Fame. So the idea is that we are going to have a Hall of Fame. We're going to do a festival centered around one person. Demetrius Cane is going to be the first person to go into our Hall of Fame. It's going to be once a year, one person goes in, and we have a festival all about them. So if you can imagine, at a festival, we'll have Demetrius Cane there. If you get a ticket, there's 4 different time slots. If you get the first one, which is sold out, so you'd already have to have that ticket. The rest of the time slots are available and for sale on our website, abvbarrelshop.com. But if you get that, you get to come in. At the first one, you'll get to see Demetrius actually go into the hall. After that, you'll get to see his Hall of Fame trophy that he gets and stuff like that, and then there'll just be different stations there that are going to apply to different things from Demetrius's life. So he roasts some coffee, so there'll be some coffee there from him. We'll also have some of his products. We're going to go through our whiskey vault and get some of the older offerings from him. We're going to have his other products that he sells that we don't normally carry at the shop. Those are going to be available to taste and buy at that event. We're going to do a barrel pick at that event where you can actually do a barrel pick. We're going to be releasing a barrel at that event, so one that we've picked beforehand, and we'll have it ready to go at that event, so that'll be fun. Darren and I are getting ready to do that next week as we record this, and so we'll have that ready to go, and just a lot of other cool things, right?
Mm-hmm. Our favorite food truck, Canoa's, is going to be here.
Yes.
That's a staple for our festivals.
Yeah, which is also he utilizes for his festival, so it's a nice crossover.
Yeah.
We both use it, so that's kind of cool. And they'll be here, and the best Kahlua pork, probably north of Hawaii, I would say. Man, it's some good stuff.
And I think he could go toe-to-toe with the stuff in Hawaii, too.
Yeah.
He's got some skills.
He does. And, of course, he is Hawaiian, so he's just doing his family recipes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, but most people who come up don't necessarily, do that. They're not necessarily bringing that. I wish there was. I guess there's getting to be a couple of Hawaiian food places around here at this point, which is kind of cool. But I don't know if anybody's doing Kahlua pork like he does, the old-fashioned way. How much do I know about how the process is? Really not a lot. I just know about, in general, I've attended a luau where they make Kahlua pork, and I get to see some of it there. He won't tell me because everything's proprietary family, and so I'm not getting any inside baseball from him. But,
and then he also does, which I think is cool. I don't know how closely you see stuff on social media. I know you have a lot of stuff going on there, but every Friday he does a Hawaiian culture, and he writes a little spiel or he links another article. And just trying to educate people about Hawaiian culture more than just when people go down there and the touristy stuff.
Right.
And he does it every Friday. I think he's been doing it every Friday this year.
Yeah.
They've been posting all of this information. It's always awesome to read.
Yep.
Can't say enough good stuff about Chaston.
Yep. So that's going to be cool. That's like a bonus part of the whole thing. And then Demetrius is going to have some personal effects here. It's almost going to be like a museum. It's a tribute. It's kind of like this is your life situation. So he's going to have some things that you've probably never seen before. We're also going to try to work on some art. He said he was going to do that. Then I don't know if he's not. He had an event where he actually gave away some of his art. And he's like, this is the only time we'll ever do that. So I don't know if he's still going to do it at ours or not. We'll see.
Everyone that gets a ticket to this gets a rocks class, I believe, right?
They get a T-shirt.
They
get the festival T-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. So, yeah.
I knew we had something made up. I just didn't remember what it was.
Yeah, which is awesome. So, if you've seen the logo, it's like a caricature of Demetrius, and it looks pretty spot on. So, yeah, it's kind of fun. So, yeah, get involved in that. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com, click on our events page, and there are 4 different time slots. One of them is sold out, the first one, but the other ones are wide open, and you get to spend about an hour and a half in this little mini festival, tasting a bunch of cool stuff, and meeting Demetrius. He'll sign your bottles there. There'll be a station where he's actually signing bottles. So, yeah, really, really cool. So, all right, what are we going to be tasting here before we head out?
So this is Jypsy's new very budget-friendly option, honestly.
Okay.
It is a double-oaked bourbon. And I'll get into more of the details there, but it sounds like we have something good coming up here. So
I think we do. So what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, it's going to be time to taste this one. We're going to be tasting Jypsy. What's the name of the?
Jypsy Tribute.
Tribute. So we'll get to that after the break. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Willie C. Moore, and I'm here with MB Rowan, and you're listening to the Bourbon Kit Daily.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Steve and Darren, and here we are at the ABV Barrel Shop recording a show. It's pretty quiet in here right now. We got some good weather going on. People are actually out having some fun, I think. So, yeah. And there's other things happening around the city, too. So, it means for a little quiet time for us. We thought we'd talk to you guys during a little bit of a downtime. But that could change at any time. So if the phone rings, someone comes in, we'll take a break and come back to it. But what do we got here with Jypsy Tribute?
So this is going to be an 86 proof Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So that's meaning everything's over 4 years old, obviously.
Okay. 2 years old for straight.
Well, yes, it is over 4 from the thing. Is
but
what
you
I
said means straight means 2.
I confused my words.
It could be
together.
more than that, which 4 is more than 2.
But the interesting thing is, it is proof down to 86 proof, and then double barreled. I don't know if I've heard of anyone doing that before.
No,
and so it was put back into the barrel at 86 proof.
And then I assume this is 86 proof now? So because it could potentially change, but then do they proof it back down to 86? So say it rises up to 88?
Okay. So fair. It was in the barrel for 3 to 6 months. So I'm assuming we're still within they wouldn't have had to add that much more.
It could change a little bit, but not 2 points like I was saying.
Yeah.
But it could. Then they just have to change it to 86.
And it did not go into details about that. I am not sure about this. So this is Eric Church's whiskey, who's a country music star.
Yep.
Actually, one of my favorite country music stars.
I don't even know a song he sings.
He's more southern rock than true country. Like, he has a little bit of rock and roll aspects to it.
Really?
Yeah.
I
would say.
No idea. I don't... Man. I as far as country stars and what they play, I mean... I know Garth Brooks has friends in lowly places.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what songs that I know that are country, that are contemporary. I mean, I know some of the old ones like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And that I know that. But anybody.
Do you know who sings Big Green Tractor?
No, I never even heard of that song.
Really? That's
never heard of it.
A very popular one. Like, people point at it like, this is what's wrong with country music. It's a guy singing about a tractor.
Well, I'm trying to think of that. Proud to be an American. That guy. He just died, right?
Yeah.
I don't know his
name. He's more
name.
of a one-hit wonder.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
Keith? Who's Toby Keith?
Toby Keith was Red Solo Cup.
Oh, is he still alive?
No, he died last year.
Are these guys dying off?
Well, yeah. Toby Keith had some problems. He had like 3 different types of cancers.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was not pleasant at the end there.
I guess that's the only song I know. As far as not old-time country, was the one, Friends in Lonely Places, Garth Brooks.
Yeah. Which is, that's not even a country music song at this point. Like, everyone knows that song.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Beyonce's the biggest country star in the world right now, right? She won the awards, probably has the most sales, and it just proves what I always say: if you want to make a bunch of money, you just do country because anybody can do it. So, Beyonce incredibly talented. So you take somebody who's not just mailing it in, who's actually very talented. Of course, she's going to be the best, and then that makes country people mad because then someone who's
What I like about country music, and I know you're going to disagree with me.
I think Beyonce would be pop, right? I guess.
But it's still pop country. Like, her album is country.
All right.
But I like the ones that tell a story. That start you in one place and end you somewhere. That's the only thing I like country music. I like the story.
Like
nothing else. I don't get musical depth. I I talked to Steinkamp, I tried to talk to Steinkamp about music, and he says these words, and just the way this does this. I don't care about like the rhythm at all. That's not what gets me into music.
Does he like country music?
No.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
But that's his argument, is that people that like country music don't like the rhythm. And I'm yes!
They don't really like music.
Yeah, but...
There's not someone they can relate to, I feel.
Yeah, and that's what I like. I like the stories and having something relatable and killing your husband. Like, it's country music in a nutshell. That's what I really dig.
Right.
Eric Church's best song, in my opinion, is a song called Record Year.
Okay.
It's a fantastic song. I won't spoil it, but...
Eric Church, do you feel... I don't know anything about him. Is he a nice guy? You can see through it.
Yeah, no, I think he's a really nice guy. Everything I've ever read about him, everyone's been impressed on how much he gives up.
That's good. I always want people just to be nice people.
Yeah, no, he is a good guy.
And I think probably more so than most genres, probably most of the country people are pretty nice. There's going to be, with anything, there's going to be jackasses in there.
Yeah.
I get it.
And they're sometimes the most popular ones.
Right. So some of that stuff, but that would be one of the things I like about country, I guess, is people are pretty approachable and nice, I guess.
Yeah. They really, most of them want to be down-to-earth people, right? Like, and singing about stuff that they relate to.
Now, if only they could get the music part down. That's the only thing I don't like about those musicians is the music. But
okay, look at it historically. Historically, songs were more important for telling stories than what they were actually about. The rhythm wasn't important. Why songs have continued throughout history? It's because they were telling stories. Mm-hmm. That is the fundamentals of music,
right?
And as we've gotten more evolved as a country,
where you're missing the point though is. Not everyone, but I would say 98% of songs tell stories. Now, is it as simple as, I would say country is more like at reading at a second grade level. That's the stories that they tell. Whereas you hear a rock and roll song, you might not even initially know what it's about because, again, back to the Steinkamp thing, you're caught up in the music and the rhythm and all that. But then almost all of them have some sort of story that they're telling. Whether you pick up on it early on or not, it is a story. It might not be told linear like they do in country, which is a beginning, middle, and end, like a traditional storytell. But most of them are protesting something, mad about something, talking about women or men, there's a story to all of them.
Well, but I like that classic beginning, middle, and end of the story. In English class, you were always taught if you're going to write a story, you have to have a beginning, middle, and the end. You can't just otherwise it's a point.
Came along. What about when Quentin Tarantino came along and said, "Fuck beginning, middle, and end. Let's blow the whole thing up, and then we'll still tell a great story." So. That's kind of the difference, right?
But there is change throughout that story. It's not... I think a lot of songs that are talking about whatever is trying to express one specific point. And not so much a lifestyle of a person, a story going on and on. And there's a bunch of country songs that are just about drinking beer. And I understand that. And those are relatable, and that's why they work. But those aren't my types of country songs. I like the stories.
The stories.
So, are we ready to taste this whiskey?
No, we haven't tasted it.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a taste. Jypsy Tribute. Here we go. I mean, it's a fine whiskey.
Yeah.
86 proof is tough for me. Man.
Yeah,
this is not my proof. I'm not their target audience here, but that's okay.
I definitely
It's a session whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Listen to country with friends. Multiple drinks.
Yeah.
Don't want to get too hammered.
Also, it is very oaky. That double oak comes through strong.
Yeah, this is true.
I think it's interesting how this double oak, because it was proofed down first. And I think you taste that difference a little bit more than you do in stuff that are proofed down afterwards.
That could be. Yeah, because you're double oaking it, then you're adding water, which again they might have had minimal water here.
Yeah,
but you've oaked the water too. For the most part here. So yeah.
I think it's a different flavor profile, and for $44.99, I think it's worth a pickup because it's a different bottle. And
Especially
you can
if
talk
you're-
to people how much you like country music.
Yeah, especially if you're an Eric Church fan, I think it's a
Yeah.
no-brainer. If you're a country music fan, probably a no-brainer.
And his other releases were almost $200, I believe. They
Yeah.
were north of $150, I believe.
Yeah. So
So-
this is definitely an approachable one. So
And for a first budget whiskey, I think they did a fantastic job.
there you go, folks. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me defending country music on the Bourbon Adventures.
Country music. Do you ever even go to concerts?
Nope. I have been to 2 concerts in my life, and I'm probably never going to another one.
Well, Donnie Marie was one. What was the other one?
I went to Kid Rock and
Okay.
Thomas Rhett.
Thomas Rhett. Is he a country guy? I don't know.
Yeah, he's a country guy.
Is he big still? I've never even heard of him.
He is pretty big. He hasn't released an album like in the last year, but he has 4 kids now and is kind of doing the whole dad life and living. But I think he's getting ready to release a new
Yeah,
album.
you just come back when you feel like it. It's
But he's done a song with Reba, so he's
Reba.
big enough.
Reba. Oof. She kind of gives me the creeps.
Oh.
I'm not a Reba fan. Do you like Reba? Well, it's red hair. You got it. You have to.
Well, and I like country music, so I know her
Is
story.
Reba a good singer? Is she
She's the pinnacle of telling a story.
really?
Yeah. The lights went out in Georgia is a fantastic song.
That's not her story. Her song, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I don't think so. We're gonna Google that.
Okay. It's
If
her.
my phone wasn't recording this right now, I'd be Googling this.
Hey, do you want me to pull it up on the
night
Spotify
that-
when I listen to it, or
No, but she might do a cover of it. It's not her song though, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
sure. I don't know who originally sang it back in 1912, but she's the one that made the song famous. I think.
No, not at all. Whoever wrote that song has made it. Google that.
Okay.
And then we'll see. It's going to be a famous person, and I mean, I get that sometimes there's really good covers, and I've never heard Reba's cover here. Running with the Devil was not Van Halen's song, but I think they probably did it better than the original. So you can tell me it's better than the original. I get that. But I think it was a very famous song by whomever did it at first. He's checking out. The night the lights went out in Georgia.
Bobby Russell.
There you go. Bobby Russell.
Well, then the other one, because there's 2 of them. There's one that is about her childhood that she wrote. Fancy.
Fancy.
It is hers, and that is a beautiful story about how she got kicked out of her house. Well, not really kicked out. They didn't have a place to live, and so her mom turned her out on the streets to try making some money, and that's how she got into singing.
Okay.
And
You think it's real?
Yeah.
'Cause there's a couple. There's 2 celebrities right now that I think are just fucking full of shit. Number 1 would be Jelly Roll. The guy is so full of shit. His life, he just wants to make it sound like it's the most not where he's at now. He's at the pinnacle. He's doing awesome. Any story he has, it's the most degenerate or written piece of crap that he can come with. And then the other one that is also full of shit, and I see him a lot. I don't even. I guess he's got a podcast. I'm not sure where he's famous from, but I see him like in the reels and stuff like that. That Theo Vaughn or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's full of shit. All those stories he tells, I know are just lies.
Yeah, but he's not a country music star.
No, I'm not
Okay.
saying country music.
Okay.
I said celebrity. He's a celebrity.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened to fit in that Jelly Roll? But
He is famous from, I don't remember the exact lore, but he is a comedian first off.
Yeah.
So I don't trust any story a
I think
comedian
he
tells.
sings too, though. Theo Vaughn, yeah.
Not that I know any of
I
his
think
songs.
not necessarily country either, though. But
Yeah.
I think he's.
But-
But again, he might be just full of shit. That guy, the stories he tells are 100% not.
He's
true.
somehow
They're so
related
over
to
the top.
Rogan. Like his upbringing was somehow related to the Rogan experience.
Uh-huh.
He was either on that or something.
Right.
But he's somehow related to the Rogan world. I just don't remember what the exact connection
His
is.
skill is to, seemingly is to whoever he's talking to. They say something, and then he riffs off that and tells some crazy story about himself.
Yeah.
That is just not true.
So do comedians to be funny, do their jokes have to be true?
No, but they're not telling stories that the audience then believes is real. You go into a comedy act, even if they're telling it's a story that they're telling. If you know Dave Chappelle, he tells a lot of stories when he's doing it.
Yeah.
His stories are funny. Are they 100% true? Maybe not. Oh, we got someone coming in. We'll have to get back to this. All right. For you guys, just an instant second there for us. We had to help a customer, so that's good. We will always do that. We always like helping customers. So where we're at, you were trying to defend Theo, saying he's a comedian, and I get it. If I go to Theo's show, which I won't go to, but if I did, that's all bets are off. I don't care what he says at that, because it's got to be funny. But again, on his podcast, when he's telling the story, I'm assuming that it's real when I'm listening to it.
I don't think anything Theo says is real. I think everything he's in comedian mode. And his podcast is a comedic podcast. Okay. So it's like going to his show.
He interviews serious people, though. I mean...
Yeah, but...
You know, he interviews... I guess he's really hot right now, I guess, in terms of a lot of... He gets a lot of big names.
Yes.
I think he hits well with young men, but again, I think they believe all the shit that he says. I don't think they're thinking that he's just funny. I think they're like...
I think the clips portray it in a different fashion than the actual shows.
I've never listened to the actual shows.
I've listened to the actual shows. And it sounds like a comedy routine with somebody else there. Okay. And you're getting some information.
So you're saying it's more like when Zach Galifianakis does a quote-unquote comedy interview, which that is a comedy. That's like a bit. With the Zach Galifianakis, he's not really trying to start a talk show. Yeah, he's doing a bit, and the person is clued in with it. He's had Obama on. He had a lot of other people. Yeah, and I'm going to say this, and you're going to do that, and this is how you're going to react to it.
I wouldn't say it's that scripted.
Yeah,
I would just say
with Galifianakis it is. But again, if you like that kind of stuff. But that's my expectation. What I see with Theo, I think this is like an interview guy who's just full of shit.
No.
All right, so what about Jelly Roll? Do you just think he's full of shit?
I don't really think that much about it. I like 2 of his songs, and that's about it. And they just caught my ear at the right time. I
just can't take him... No matter what it was, I got out of jail and I was terrible. And then guess where I went? I went straight. I was living in a prostitute house, and and then I'm doing 8 balls. He's just full of shit. He's that guy's so full of shit. It's unbelievable.
Okay, I don't know
a failed rapper turned country star.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
I know nothing about him besides his 2 songs that I kind of like. So
okay,
that's all the attention I've paid to him. So I can't say anything.
Yeah, I can't take that guy. Or the other one either. They're just bad mojo. Maybe if Theo's funny, maybe I'd like him. I like humor, but I don't know. It's too much. And he pops up a lot. And then for some reason, I'm always drawn in.
That's the thing about those clips is they get you. Well, YouTube Shorts, they edit them in such a way that the first 2 words catch your attention, right? And then you're there for the whole thing.
Or if Nikki Glazer's on, then I gotta watch it because I like Nikki Glazer.
Okay. So
why doesn't she ever come in here? We're in St. Louis. She's in St. Louis. Why doesn't Nikki Glazer ever just come strolling in? I guess she's sober now. I guess that's the main problem.
Yeah,
that's what's working against us. If we could have caught her back in the unsober days. We had the store open. She'd probably be here all the time, hanging out. We'd be our best friends. We'd go out on tour with her. Yeah. We were like, we can't go. We can't close the store. She'd be like, what do you guys make on that day? And then, of course, we're making like $500. We say, we would make $2,000. She'd be like, all right, I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys $3,000. Yeah. Just shut the store down. And we'd be like, okay, yeah, let's do it, Nikki.
Sure.
That's how I can envision things going. We would be best friends with Nikki Glazer right now.
Okay.
And we'd support her through sobriety, too. We wouldn't try to sell her stuff, but we'd still be just friends with her. Like, we had a board game night the other night. We could bring her in on that. She'd like that.
Okay.
And you know what? She didn't want to do it. We just let her MC. She's MC'd the Golden Globes?
Yeah.
She can MC our board game night.
Okay. That's an idea.
And if I was Theo Vaughn, I would be, or Jelly Roll, I'd be like, you're not going to believe this, but at our board game night, Nikki Glazer's our MC. And everybody would be like, holy shit, that's a cool board game night. Because they're just full of shit. That's how full of shit those guys are. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
It's because nobody's listening. Because nobody's listening.
If you're still listening,
they've already tuned out.
You have to make sure to actually tell us. Because it's after we started doing plugs already.
You've done your plug. And someone who's looking at it is like, wait a minute, there's still 20 minutes of this show left.
Yeah.
Why?
So we will need to hear from you if you actually listen to this fucking part of the show.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website at thingsabvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. Also, please give us a 5-star review with comments. It helps new people find the show. That's important to us. And head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. That'll do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.